If your BetaFPV Air65 and 75 randomly just fall out from the sky, well, apparently it is a common problem. And in this video, I'm gonna show you 4 tips on how to fix this common issue. Let's go. Hi, I'm CHILLDRONE and welcome back to the channel. The main culprit of this common problem issue is the LRS chip at the back of your drone. Usually if you put your USB or plug in your battery, it will light up. There's an LED right there. It will blinking or turn on when you give it a power from the battery or USB. But on some instances, some product batch, there is some quality control problem issue. So the LRS chip is not connect properly to the flight controller board. So the first one that I can suggest, the first tips is just use your hot air gun to make it stick better to the flight controller board. But if that did not fix your issue, tips number 2 is use external ELRS. So you need to solder it by your hand if you have a solder skill. If you have a solder skill, then you need to solder it to your flight controller board, and I will show you how. But if you don't have soldering skill, well, I will give you another tip at the end of the video. This is after I take out all of the motors and etc, so I can solder the LRS external receiver to the board. Right here, it's on this part. You can use first you need to take off the TX3 and RX3 from the board. If you got some skills, you can just use your soldering iron to take off this some kind of resistor. It is very small, but if you want an easier way to take off this resistor on the TX3 and RX3, you can just use your hot air gun. So just blow it up and then just take it off from the board. Make sure you keep that out somewhere. So if you want to seal this TX3 and RX3 in the future, you'll still have it. It's very small, so make sure you are not losing it. Okay, the external LRS that I'm using is the Radiomaster RP2. It is the small one. It got an internal antenna right there. The cube that you see on the screen, it's the antenna. So the pad is also really big, so you can solder it very easily. Okay, don't forget to use flux to solder it on the pad. Make sure you are connecting your cable very properly. Right here, if you use enough flux, and it will be very easy to connect the cable to the LRS receiver. Okay, since I'm done connecting the cable to the external LRS receiver, now it's time to connect it to the board. You need to be really careful because the pad is really small for the RX and TX. So for the 5V and ground is very easy. The pad is medium size, I think. It's easy to solder it to the board, but the TX and RX is really challenging. So you need to have small soldering tip to make it works. Because if you see right here, I make a really bad mistake. I'm bridging the 2 pads between the TX3 and a small pad where it was previously soldered to the resistor. So if you make this mistake, you need to have a solder wick. Just put your wick on the top of that mistake and just heat it up with the soldering iron, then you're done, and you can try again to solder it to the board. Okay, that should be really easy. If you make a mistake, don't forget solder wick is your friend, so better make sure you have that wick. It's really helpful to have that one. Alright, I'm done. And the placement of this ELRS receiver is at the bottom, so you can put it on the either left side right here or right side right here. Why we are not putting it on the top like in this part? Because it will introduce an interference if you put your ELRS receiver right here. That's why I'm recommending you to put it down here on the side of the battery tray. Alright, so if you don't like the idea of external ELRS, then on to the next tip. Tip number 3. The next tip that I can give you is just buy another AIO. It may be more expensive, but you want to add another weight. By using the external ELRS receiver, you will introduce another weight. My Radiomaster RP2, it's around 0.5 grams, so you will introduce another weight, but it's just a little. And if you don't like that, just buy another AIO, so you can fly a drone just like before you broke the ELRS receiver. That's it. And the last one, if you don't like soldering, you don't have a skill, maybe you have already guessed it, yeah, just buy another Air65 or 75. It's much easier. It's very easy if you have money, of course. And if you have that money, please click the link down below. There is a link, affiliate link, that can give me a little boost to make this channel grow. So yeah, I think that's the end of the video. So if you think this video is really helpful, please click like and subscribe down below, and use any of affiliate links that I give you in the description. So yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.